Becoming Ted by Matt Cain, published by Headline Review, and this is a novel set in fictional St Luke's-upon-Sea, which is a Lancashire town on the seaside, and it feels very, very English. It's set not far from Blackpool and not far from Manchester, and indeed there is an ice cream shop, and Ted of the title, his family owns the ice cream shop, but Ted has never really been able to share that he really doesn't like ice cream, and therefore, as an intended heir to inherit the ice cream shop, which has been going for decades and is a real institution, how does he admit that? So this is a lovely story about a man in his 40s actually, coming to know himself and actually standing up for himself and exploring what it means to be Ted. Now, this is a proof copy, so it's an early copy, and the kind of book cover you will be looking for if you want to pick this one up is more like this. I actually listened to this as an audiobook, and it's beautifully narrated by Samuel Barnett, and I really enjoyed listening to it. I wanted to pick up where I'd left off last time and just see how Ted was developing as a man. The book opens with him living with his husband Giles. He thinks everything's hunky-dory, and he then discovers some photos of kind of compromising photos of Giles with somebody called Javier, and soon Giles has left him, and this leaves a huge hole in his life, but he has the support of his good friend Denise. He soon gets to know an older man called Stanley, who really sets his history in context and kind of reinforces that if Ted has a burning passion, then he must follow his nose on this. We learn that Stanley's story is set, several decades ago, when being homosexual was against the law, and the punishment meted out on him at that time was just appalling. Ted also falls for somebody called Oscar, and he's from Poland, and we get to hear Oscar's story, who had a really, really difficult time in Poland, where things are, very, very difficult for somebody who's gay. So he left Poland, came here, and also started, to set up a new life for himself. So there are an awful lot of uplifting elements to this really nicely penned story, but there are also some home truths about what some people have really had to go through and suffer, and that is the sobering bit of the story. Ted has a real passion for appearing on the stage, and I won't give the game away about how this all pans out, but Giles has really undermined him in the past, and I didn't take to Giles at all, because he's really flattened him, and Ted's always been quite biddable, but the balance of that relationship was really not right, and so although he's tempted to go back at some point to Giles, the reader is actually rooting for Ted, saying don't do it, because there is a future for you there, it's out there, and you have new avenues to explore. So this is a really lovely story. The title sums up Becoming Ted. Ted is becoming the person he really needs to be. There is a bit of mystery, because every now and again he is sent a letter which seems to diss his dad, that his dad wasn't a very reputable kind of guy, and that kind of upsets the apple cart for him. But there are lots of really interesting threads that come together in this uplifting, heartwarming novel that has been a pleasure to read.